Your life looks fine. And that's the problem. Because if somebody looked at your life from the outside looking in, they would probably definitely say that you're doing well because you make decent money, you're busy all the time, you train sometimes, and you've got responsibility and goals and targets. You're not that guy that fell apart and hit rock bottom in an embarrassing way. You're the guy who almost made it. And that's exactly why this part's so dangerous. Your life isn't bad enough to force yourself to make some meaningful change. It's not aligned enough to feel powerful. So you just exist in this strange old middle ground where you're successful enough to avoid embarrassment, but underperforming enough to feel restless and overwhelmed. And that restlessness follows you everywhere. So you wake up in the morning with that strange pressure in your chest, that feeling in your head. It's not panic, it's just tension. So then you look at your day ahead and you think to yourself, I should just be way further than this. So you sit down to do some work, open some emails, reply to some messages, handle some problems, and you move things forward. But something inside you knows the truth because you're busy, but you're not operating anywhere near your highest level. And that quiet awareness will slowly eat away at you day by day, week by week, because you know you're capable of more. More discipline, more clarity, more execution, and more impact. But your life isn't reflecting it. So you start the week strong. Monday morning, you're locked in, ready to take over the world this week. Training hard, eating clean, attacking work with your full focus, full locked in, ready to just smash it. And you feel sharp. And you feel like the man that you know you're supposed to be, the man that you could be, the man that you should be. But somewhere around Tuesday night, Wednesday, things start to slip. You skip the workout and you tell yourself that you'll train tomorrow. You eat something that you know you shouldn't. You scroll longer than you planned and you negotiate with yourself. And every little negotiation just chips away at something important. That's your self-respect, and you don't notice it go immediately, but the pattern repeats on itself over and over again. You start strong, then you drift, then you reset, then you start again, then you drift again, and slowly your standards begin to just get lower, bit by bit, not even dramatically, just quietly, and you call it being busy. You call it burnout. You call it life getting in the way, but the truth is much, much, much simpler than that. Your life isn't aligned across the 3 B's, body, being, business. That means you've got a soft body, scattered mind, and reactive business. And those 3 things create a very specific kind of life. A life that looks acceptable from the outside looking in, but feels frustrating from the inside. Because when your body's inconsistent, your discipline fluctuates. When your mind's scattered, your thinking becomes reactive. And when your business decisions are reactive, your results become unstable and inconsistent, and everything starts pulling you in different directions. Your body's pulling one way, your mind is pulling you another, and your work and your money keeps pulling you somewhere else. And that fragmentation creates anxiety because you feel busy, but not powerful. You feel productive, but not proud. And you feel like you're constantly moving, but nothing's actually compounding on itself. And do you want to know what the worst part is? You know better. You know exactly what discipline looks like. You know what your 100% version of you looks like. You know what structure looks like. You've seen men operating at that level before, and you've had previews of yourself when you do it. Training consistently, thinking sharp, business moving with intention, moving towards clearly defined goals. You know what that life looks like, and you know what it feels like at times. And that gap between that life and what you live in day to day bothers you because deep down you know something uncomfortable. You're not behind. You're misaligned because your life's built on 3 pillars, whether you like it or not. As a man, our life's built on 3 pillars: body, being, and business. And most men obsess over one of them at a time. Business, revenue, income generating activities, deals, clients, money, growth. But then they neglect the other 2. Body. Your physical standards start to drop. How you train, when you train, how you sleep, how you fuel yourself, what you're putting into your body. Because your body sets the baseline for your discipline. And when your body's soft, your standards tend to soften too. So then let's talk about your being. This is the one that most men ignore completely. Your internal state, your thinking, your clarity, your identity. When was the last time you sat in silence for 10 minutes? No phone, no podcast, no distractions, just you and your thoughts. Most men avoid that moment, and I know you've been avoiding that moment because when the noise stops, the truth starts speaking in your ears. And that truth usually sounds something like this. You know you're capable of more than this. You're drifting. You've fallen off again. You're not operating at your highest level. But instead of listening, you just start to distract yourself again with more work, more scrolling, more noise. And then comes business. You might be making money, but are you leading your work? So you're making money, but are you leading your work, or are you reacting to it on a day-to-day basis? Are you building something structured, or are you just busy firefighting problems every single day? Because reactive business usually comes from reactive thinking, and reactive thinking comes from a misaligned life. This is the pattern I keep on seeing. Successful men externally, on paper, winning at life, but they're fragmented on the inside. They've got money, but not the structure. These are the men that come to me and ask about the alignment blueprint, because they've got the ambition but not the alignment, and that fragmentation slowly drains them, because success without alignment feels heavy, because you carry the pressure but you don't feel control. You carry responsibility but you don't feel the momentum that should come with it, and your life looks fine. It looks fine, but it doesn't feel powerful. Now imagine something different for a second. Imagine waking up in the morning with clarity, not motivation, but clarity, because your body is disciplined, you train consistently, your energy is stable, your mind's structured, and your thinking is sharp. Your business decisions come from a place of intention rather than reaction and firefighting, and your life stops feeling chaotic. Execution becomes automatic. That's exactly what alignment is. Body, being, and business. When those three pillars move together and feed into each other, something powerful happens. Your discipline strengthens your thinking, and your thinking sharpens your decisions, and that accelerates your results, and everything starts feeding into each other. Alignment creates momentum, and momentum creates power. Not hype, not motivation, but power. The kind of power where you wake up and there is no negotiation, no reset every Monday, no drifting, just execution. And most men never get to experience that, so they just stay stuck in the middle. Successful enough to look good, but misaligned enough to feel frustrated. And that's exactly why I created the alignment blueprint in the first place, because the problem isn't and never will be motivation. The problem is structure, how you train, how you think, how you execute, and how you make money. And the alignment blueprint shows you how to rebuild your life across those three pillars: body, being, and business. And I promise you, lock those three in so they work together, and your discipline stabilizes, your mind clears, and your results start compounding, and the man you know you're capable of being starts to emerge. So from here, you've got three options. First of all, you can download the alignment blueprint for free and start installing this system yourself. The link's in the description. Secondly, you can book a power hour breakthrough call. That's a one-to-one call with me. It's a full session where we identify exactly where your life's leaking energy across body, being, and business, and then we build a structure around fixing it. And thirdly, if you're serious about rebuilding how you operate completely, there's the 90-day alignment protocol. That's where we install the system properly in your life with accountability, structure, and ruthless execution. Execution that creates results, because the truth is simple. Your life doesn't look terrible, it looks fine. And that's exactly why it's so dangerous, because fine eventually becomes your standard. Average discipline, average clarity, average results, and an average life. You don't want average. You know you're meant for more than that. You want alignment. So download the blueprint now, click the link in the description and download it. It's time to start living in alignment and moving forward with body, being, and business all going in one direction. Let's fucking have it.